This is How Leonard, Adult Piano Method, Book 2. And let's look at Morning Bells on pages 16 and 17. This is a nice study in legato pedaling. So we're going to go through the warm-ups and then I'll play Morning Bells. The first step is just to count and pedal. So we're pedaling down on the and after 1, pedaling up on 1. On the first measure, we just go down on the and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. So we're counting quite slow to get those foot motions in there. When you come up, I went up a little bit more than I normally would, just to make sure you saw the motion of my foot. When you come up, just come up enough that the pedal goes all the way up, but your foot should still maintain contact with the pedal. We don't want to come up off, then when we go down, there's going to be kind of some extra noise. So we want to try to eliminate as much extra noise as we can when we pedal. Okay, the next step is to play the left hand intervals while you do the same pedaling motion. So we just play on 1 and then go down right after. 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 repeat 1 and 2, 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. All right. This legato pedaling helps us to connect the sounds without overlapping. So that's why we pedal up right as we play. This helps us to clear the sound of everything that came before. Then we pedal down right after to then catch the new sound without carrying anything over into it. And this is the technique that we'll use for Morning Bells. So you'll want to just notice where the pedal changes are. They're a little irregular. Sometimes we pedal, 2 measures together, and sometimes just 1 measure, and then sometimes 4 measures. So just watch carefully. This is a good way to also get used to noticing where those pedal changes happen. Just go up on 1, down on and. As I play, I'm going to just say up and down for the motion of my foot. And I'll keep things nice and slow this time through. 1, down, 2, and 3, and 1, and 2, and 3, and up, down, 2, and 3, and 1, and 2, and 3, and up, down, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, up, down, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, up, down, 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 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, up, down, 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 2. Not up, down. Hold that one. All right, so it can get a little tricky to keep track of when to change pedal, but just keep it nice and slow as you work through it. Saying up and down for the pedal can be helpful. If it kind of gets in the way of playing the notes, then don't worry about it. I would recommend playing hands separately in measures 9 to 12 and also 17, probably all the way to the end, at least to measure 23, since 23 and 24 are the same. Basically, you don't have to do both of those, but you might as well. That will help with, the changing intervals and also the pedaling. So just for example, 9 to 12, right hand, up, down, 2, 3, up, down, 2, 3, up, down, 2, 3, up, down, 2, 3. And then the left hand, up, down, 2, 3, up, down, 2, 3, up, down, 2, 3, up, down, 2, 3. That way you get used to how the intervals are changing in both hands. And when you put them together, you'll have more security. Do the same thing on the last 2 lines. And also just notice the other patterns that we see in measures 1 through 4. We have those fifths on G and D, and then those fifths on E and B. And we use those positions back and forth for the first 8 measures, and then you see them return in measures 13 to 16. So just watch for those little moving parts. Everything else stays basically in your G 5-finger position. And then the last thing is to listen for those dynamic changes and then make sure that the tempo is up to where you want it to be. All right, enjoy the sounds of morning bells and get lots of good pedal practice with it too.